Superbook fans, and welcome back to the Superbook Sunday School at Home. Before we begin our lesson today, why don't we do a little recap of what we learned last week?
Joy, I want to say, look, I messed up. Sometimes people make mistakes. They get overwhelmed or afraid.
Or selfish.
But mostly afraid. I never should have denied that I knew you in front of those guys, Joy. I mean it. I'm sorry.
I forgive you, Chris. And I'm sorry if I overreacted. A little.
We learned that we are all imperfect, made perfect by the love of God. This week, we are going to learn about the bigger picture. Now, what does that even mean, you may ask? Before I tell you, why don't we listen to this wonderful song? Song, da-da-da-da-da.
We're the reflection of your love, oh God. You have shown us how to live by faith. Our lives will shine your bright light in the world. We know through your strength we can do anything. We won't, no, we won't ever stop. We will share God's great love with the whole world. We always will. Every good gift comes from you, oh God. We were created to bring the good news. We won't, no, we won't ever stop. We will share God's great love with the whole world. We always will. Jesus brings new life to all who believe. He is the way and the truth and the light. We won't, no, we won't ever stop. We will share God's great love with the whole world. We won't, no, we won't ever stop. We will share God's great love with the whole world. We won't, no, we won't ever stop. We will share God's great love with the whole
What a lovely song. Kids, I want to ask you something. Have you ever played with a jigsaw puzzle? You know, when you look at those little pieces individually, it doesn't make any sense, right? But when you join them all together, what happens? We'll talk more about these puzzles and the bigger picture after we watch today's video, Rahab and the Wall of Jericho.
With all our soldiers, how will we defeat their army protected by the walls around Jericho?
In 3 days, we cross the Jordan River and take Jericho.
Wow, that looks really cool. Careful.
Becky, you and Joy seem to be working along the same lines. Would you like to team up?
No, thank you. She probably copied me anyway. What? Well, I never. Chris Quantum!
Don't you want to work with her?
More like she doesn't want to work with me. Fine. I wouldn't work with her in a million years.
Superbook!
We headed for now!
I am taking you to a place where you will discover that when people live to please the Lord, even their enemies are at peace with them.
Come on!
We must learn more about Jericho. How thick are the city walls? How plentiful are their supplies? How many soldiers they have? This mission calls for our very best spies.
Those are spies?
The line into Jericho is moving slowly tonight, Captain. Have your men fallen asleep?
I don't have time for jokes, Rahab.
You know I'm dependent on travelers, and I'm concerned about not having guests in my boarding house tonight unless you can move things along.
You should be more concerned about the Israelites.
The Israelites? What do you mean?
They've begun arriving and making camp on the east side of the Jordan River. Thousands of them.
Really? I have heard stories about their amazing God and the things he's done.
Well, if they try to attack, their victories end here at Jericho. Because the Israelites and their God are no match for my men and our walls.
I don't know. Perhaps it is you, Captain, who should have more concern tonight. Their God is very powerful.
And our walls are very strong.
Too easy.
Hurry along. We've got to shut the gates for the night. Halt in the name of the king!
And that's what he said.
Oh, these are lovely. Did they just arrive?
Yes, they're beautiful and a great value.
Are you some kind of spy?
Huh? Oh, no.
That's odd, because you've been following me ever since you came through the city gate. And obviously, you're not from around here.
You noticed.
You know, you would look so much better in green. Let's see.
What do you think?
Oh, definitely.
Okay, let's go spy hunting.
Rahab, you seem to know everybody in Jericho.
Not nearly everybody, but I like people. With a few exceptions.
I can relate to that. There's this girl at home, Becky. We've hardly even spoken, but she acts like I'm her worst enemy.
Sometimes people judge one another too quickly. Even if you see people a certain way, you should still give them a second chance to prove themselves. I'm sure you and this other girl can find something in common. After all, look at us.
Joey, we've been looking all over for you.
And we lost track of those spies.
Can you not say that word so loud?
Come on, everybody inside.
Oh, the spies!
Liz?
What?
Blech. No!
Those are the spies? In my home? You and you, up to the roof. Go!
What? What do you mean?
Go now!
Let us have the men who are staying at your house. They are spies.
Spies? Oh, wait. You mean them?
Don't play games with me, Rahab.
The men were here earlier, but I didn't know where they were from. If you hurry, you can probably catch up with them.
Take some men and go look for them at the Jordan River where people cross. We may be back.
You saved our lives, Rahab. Why?
I know that the Lord has given Israel this land. Everyone shakes with fear because of you. We heard how the Lord dried up the Red Sea so that you could leave Egypt. And we heard how you destroyed Sihon and Og, those two Amorite kings east of the Jordan River. No wonder our hearts have melted in fear. No one has the courage to fight after hearing such things. For the Lord your God is the supreme God of the heavens above and the earth below. Please, promise me in the Lord's name, since I have shown you kindness, that you also will show kindness to my father's house, and give me a true token, and spare my father, my mother, my brothers, my sisters, and all that they have, and deliver our lives from death.
We offer our own lives as a guarantee for your safety.
If you don't betray us, we will keep our promise and be kind to you when the Lord gives us the land.
Come, we must hurry. My house is built into the city wall. Use this rope to let yourselves down to the ground outside the city wall.
We will be bound by the oath we have taken only if you follow these instructions. You must tie this red cord on your window when we attack, and everyone in your family must be here with you. We will take the blame if anyone who stays in this house gets hurt. But anyone who leaves your house will be killed.
I understand. Now go before the captain returns.
Where is it taking us now? It appears Superbook has sent us forward in time. According to my chronospatial locator, the Israelites have moved their camp to the west side of the Jordan River.
Closer to Jericho.
And it looks like they're on the attack. It looks like some kind of treasure.
My info scanner is registering that as the Ark of the Covenant. A wooden chest covered in gold, which contains the 10 Commandments God gave to Moses on Mount Sinai.
Amazing.
Children,
Joshua, did the spies help you figure out a plan for getting past Jericho's walls?
no. God has given me a plan. It was after Passover. I came to study their mighty walls at this very place.
I am the commander of the Lord's army.
I am your servant. Tell me what to do.
Take off your sandals, for the place where you are standing is holy.
He told me how I am to defeat Jericho.
How?
Follow with the others, behind the soldiers, and remain silent. Do not speak a word while you march around the city.
Make way for the king!
The entire city is in a panic, and all they're doing is marching around?
Yes, and look! Now they're just returning to their camp. It must be some kind of trick.
No, they've just seen the futility of their plan, and our walls have kept us safe.
This is crazy. We march up like we're going to attack. We go around the city one time and then we go home? For 6 days? That's it? That's the plan?
Patience, Chris. Tomorrow is going to be different.
What is happening?
Today they circled the city 7 times, but still they are afraid to attack.
It's pathetic. They'll be leaving soon. Shout! For the Lord has given you the city!
Safe when I sent you to Jericho. We promised to protect her and her family, and we will keep that promise. Now go into her house and bring them out!
Rahab, for your help, you may live in a safe place near the camp of Israel.
Everyone, go with these men. You'll be safe with the Israelites. We have their promise.
Guys!
Rahab! I'm glad I got to know you.
And I you. I hope things work out for you and your friend. Remember, since the time I got to know the enemy, we came to find we had common ground.
We're going home! And not a moment too soon!
I'm going to have a chat with Becky. Hi. That's a cute bracelet. Really? Really. You know, you look good in green.
My mom made it for me.
Wow, that's pretty cool. What?
Nothing. It's just... Ever since I transferred here, nobody's ever said anything nice to me. Nobody ever says anything at all.
Yeah, I know how hard it can be making friends in new places.
I'm not real good at making friends.
Well, you're pretty good at science projects. Maybe we can both work on one together?
Only if you want to.
Yeah, I want to. I definitely want to.
So kids, did you see? Joy and Becky were very different, but they found common ground and came together and worked together.
I'm not real good at making friends.
Well, you're pretty good at science projects. Maybe we can both work on one together?
Only if you want to.
Yeah, I want to. I definitely want to.
And Rahab was very different from the Israelites, but she understood the one true God, and she became a part of helping the Israelites win Jericho.
You saved our lives, Rahab. Why?
I know that the Lord has given Israel this land. Everyone shakes with fear because of you. For the Lord your God is the supreme God of the heavens above and the earth below.
So as we saw from our two stories today, two very different beings, right? Just like jigsaw puzzles, they're all different pieces. And they were very different in their personalities, yet they found common ground and came together. Kids, I want to remind you, all of us are created differently. We all have different talents, different abilities, different moods, different attitudes, the way we look. It's very different. But we are all part and pieces of the bigger picture God has created for us. So remember, just because somebody is different than you doesn't mean that you won't talk to them or you won't associate yourself with them. You be with them because you know that they are also part of the very same puzzle you are, God's bigger picture. Our Bible study for today is taken from 1 Corinthians 12:12. It says, "Just as a body, though one, has many parts, but all its many parts form one body, so it is with Christ." Kids, the Bible is so unique in the way it teaches us things. Just like this example, our body is one, but we have different parts of the body that have different functions. For example, our hand. If we have to pick up something, we can't just use one finger and lift it up, right? We have to use all our fingers. And our fingers are different sizes, small, tall, big. They're all different sizes, yet they all come together and work and lift things up. In the same way, you and I are created very differently. We have different looks, we have different talents, we can do different things, but we all must come together and work in the bigger picture that God has for us. So next time you see a friend or see anybody who is different than you, don't make fun or don't laugh or turn your face away and walk away. Become friends with them, because you must know that they are also part of the bigger picture just like you are. We're going to pray today that God would help us realize that we are all part of the bigger picture and help us always work towards that goal. Let's pray. Father God, we thank you for choosing us to be a part of your big and grand picture. God, I pray that you would always give us the wisdom and understanding to know that we all may be different in our own ways, but you have brought us all together as one. I pray that you would give us a gentle heart and a kind spirit to be loving and caring to everyone around us, regardless of how different they may be from us. We thank you for this big picture and thank you for choosing us to be a part of it. In your name I pray. Amen. Our super verse for today is taken from Psalm 133 verse 1. It says, "How good and pleasant it is when God's people live together in unity." Why don't we say that again? How good and pleasant it is when God's people come together, and live in unity. So kids, as you can see, it is wonderful when we all live together in unity without fighting or comparing ourselves with each other. Alright kids, now it's time to make a craft. Here's what you're going to need.
A ruler, a pair of scissors, a pencil, white and brown sheet, a marker, some red string, crayons and glue. So we are going to recreate Rahab and the wall of Jericho. So on this brown sheet of paper, with the help of a marker and rulers, make a brick wall, which will be our wall of Jericho. I've already drawn the city walls like this, and you can also cut out a little window here. And now on this white sheet of paper, I'm going to draw Rahab. And we are going to make Rahab stand near the window here. So what you're going to do is take a printout of Rahab and color it. And now we will cut the outline of the city wall like this. As you can see, I have already made a drawing of Rahab and cut it out. And now we will take our string and cut it about approximately this size. And we'll apply some glue over here and paste it to the window. Just like this. And now we will take Rahab and we'll paste her behind the wall on the window. Like this, so that you can see her face out of the window. Now press it down and stick it well. And now we have ready. And here we have it, Rahab on the wall of Jericho, tying the rope as a sign so that her family is protected and safe.
I hope you all enjoyed making that craft. A reminder for you that we are all part of a bigger picture. Before we end today, let's do a little recap on what we learned today.
There's this girl at home, Becky. We've hardly even spoken, but she acts like I'm her worst enemy.
Sometimes people judge one another too quickly. Even if you see people a certain way, you should still give them a second chance to prove themselves. I'm sure you and this other girl can find something in common. After all, look at us.
We learned today that we are all different but unique in a way, because God has created each one of us for a specific purpose to be a part of the bigger picture in His kingdom. Next week, we are going to learn of a wonderful new lesson as well.
Aaron, you can't run away from home, no matter what you did.
You don't know my dad. My father will never ever forgive me for any of it.
Aaron, you know what? I know that's bad stuff. I bet your father's love for you is way bigger than that stuff.
Fathers forgive.
Until next time, make sure you send us a picture of your craft that you have done today. You can email it to us at superbook@cbnindia.org, or you can send it on any one of our social media channels, Instagram or Facebook. Make sure you send us a message. Until next time, have a wonderful, wonderful week ahead. See you on Sunday at 3:30 p.m. Bye.